The Pottering Pig. Lalita is a pet pig of Minnie Singh the Potter. Minnie loves his pig and lets her do whatever she wants to do. Now, pigs do all sorts of big-headed things, and that's what Lalita does as well. Lalita pushes stones all over the neat path. Hump, hump. Lalita snores and digs up the garden. Har, har, har. Lalita tears up all the newspapers, even the one Minnie hasn't read it yet. Grr, grr, grr. Lalita blows bubbles into her water bowl and spills water all over. Fur, fur, fur. Lalita chews up all the lilies and scares the fish in the pond. Chapak, chapak. Lock her up, says Minnie's eye. Tie her up, says Minnie's tie. Never ever, says Minnie. She never ever messes with my pots and jugs. One day, Minnie comes to work. Bright and early, he whistles happily to Lalita. Hump, hump. She grunts back. His happiness vanishes when he sees broken bowls, shattered jugs, cracked cups, smashed teapots everywhere. Minnie gets angrier and angrier and angrier. He ties up Lalita up under the shady bougainvillea. Lalita doesn't understand why she is tied up. She whines and whimpers, she cries, sighs, but Minnie is too angry to listen. All day, Minnie works angrily and Lalita stays tied up. Then Minnie hears a noise. It isn't a hump, it isn't a har, it isn't a grr, and it isn't a fur, and it isn't a chapak or chapak. Meow, crash, meow, thunk. It is a big orange cat. It is a big orange cat that knock over the pots and jugs. Minnie unties Lalita. Hump, hump, she grunts. Lalita chases the cat round and round and right out of the pottery. Then Lalita goes right back to doing pig-headed things because that's what pigs do. Peppa Pig, fun at the fair. The characters: George, Peppa, Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig. Stall, Panda, Funfair, Slide, and Big Wheel. Peppa Pig and George, Mummy and Daddy Pig are at the fun fair. Peppa's friends are all at the fun fair too. Peppa and Mummy Pig go to see one of the stalls. I love that big panda, says Peppa. Mummy Pig wins the big panda for Peppa. Hooray, says Peppa. George wants to go on the big slide. Daddy Pig goes with him. George loves the slide, but the slide is too big for Daddy Pig. I don't like this slide at all, he says. Peppa and Mummy Pig go to the next stall. Mummy Pig wins another big panda for Peppa. George wants to go on the big wheel next. Daddy Pig goes with him. George loves the big wheel, but the wheel is too big for Daddy Pig. I don't like this big wheel at all, he says. George and Daddy Pig see Peppa and Mummy Pig at one of the stalls. Peppa wants Mummy Pig to win another panda. Mummy Pig wins all the pandas at the fun fair. Hooray for Mummy, says Peppa. Peppa gives all her friends a big panda. Hooray, say Peppa and her friends. We love fun fairs. Lost and found. Once there was a boy, and one day he found a penguin at his door. The boy didn't know where it had come from, but it began to follow him everywhere. The penguin looked sad, and the boy thought it must be lost. So the boy decided to help the penguin find its way home. He checked in the lost and found office, but no one was missing a penguin. He asked some birds if they knew where the penguin came from, but they ignored him. Some birds are like that. The boy asked his duck, but the duck floated away. He didn't know. That night, the boy couldn't sleep for disappointment. He wanted to help the penguin, but he didn't know how. The next morning, he discovered that penguins come from South Pole, but could he get there? He ran down to the harbor and asked a big ship to take them to the South Pole, but his voice was much too small to be heard over the ship's horn. So together he and the penguin would row to the South Pole. The boy took his rowboat out of the cupboard and they tested for size and strength. They packed everything they would need, and together they pushed the rowboat out to sea. They rowed south for many days and nights with the boy telling stories all the way. The penguin listened to everything that the boy said. They floated through good weather and bad weather. When the waves were as big as mountains, until they came to the South Pole. The boy was delighted, but the penguin said nothing. Suddenly, it looked sad again as the boy helped it out of the boat. The boy said goodbye and floated away. But as he looked back, The penguin looked sadder than ever. It felt strange to be on his own, and the more he thought, and the and the more he realized he was making a big mistake. The penguin wasn't lost; he was just lonely. Quickly, he turned the boat around and headed back to the South Pole as fast as he could. At last, he reached the pole again, but where was the penguin? The boys searched and searched, but he was nowhere to be found. Sadly, the boy set off for home. There was no point telling stories because there was no one to listen except wind and the waves. But then the boy saw something in the water ahead of him. Closer and closer he got until he could see the penguin. And the boy and his friend went home talking of wonderful things all the way. Back home. Once there was a boy, and one day, as he was putting his things back in the cupboard, he found an aeroplane. He didn't remember leaving it in there, but he thought he had taken it out for a go right away. The plane lifted off the ground and up into the sky, higher and higher and higher. Suddenly the plane spluttered. It had run out of petrol. Now the boy was stuck on the moon. What was he to do? He was all alone and afraid, and soon his torch began to go out. Up in space, someone else was in trouble too. His engine had broken down, and steering the ship towards a flicker of light, he landed on the moon with a pop. Both the boy and Martian could hear noises in the dark, and both feared the worst. But as their eyes got used to the dark, they both realized they had met someone else in trouble. They weren't alone anymore. The boy showed the Martian his empty petrol tank, and the Martian showed the boy his broken engine. Together they thought of ways to fix their machines and how to get them both back home. The boy jumped down to earth to get the things they would need. Go down into the sea and swam towards home. But by the time he got there, the boy was tired out, so he sat in his favorite chair just to catch his breath. His favorite program was starting, and he settled down to watch. Suddenly he remembered what he should be doing and rushed off to the cupboard to get what he needed. He ran outside and shouted, but There was no reply. He could be heard. The boy climbed to called higher ground, called again and waited. This time, this time a rope was lowered. The boy began to climb up, and the Martinian began to pull, and soon the boy was back on the moon. The boy fixed up the Martian engine with the right spanner, and the Martian filled the boy's patrolled him. They said goodbye and thanked each other for their help. They wondered if they had ever meet again. After a long night, they were both finally off the moon. The boy went one way and the Martian went another, both on their way back home. Peppa goes swimming. It's a lovely sunny day. Peppa and her family are at the swimming pool. Peppa, George, let Daddy put on your armbands, snorts Mummy Pig. Today is George's first day at the pool, and he's a bit scared of getting in. Why don't you just put one foot in the water? Suggests Daddy Pig. Maybe George should try both feet at the same time, says Mummy Pig. Splash! Mummy Pig convinced George to jump into the water, and he loves it. Grunt, hee, snort, shouts George happily. Ho 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 ho! Well done, George, snorts Daddy Pig. Here's Rebecca Rabbit with her brother Richard and their mummy. Hello everyone, cries Rebecca. Squeak, squeak, says Richard. Richard, hold on to the float and you can practice kicking your legs, says Mummy Rabbit. George, would you like to try kicking your legs? asks Mummy Pig. Hee, float, snort, giggles George. Ho ho, very good, laughs Daddy Pig. But please try not to splash, grunt Big Children. Grunt. Big children don't splash, adds Peppa. Big children are very good at swimming, snorts Peppa. When George and Richard are older, they will be able to swim like us, won't they, Rebecca? Yes, says Rebecca as she watches the boys kicking. Peppa and Rebecca race each other up and down the pool with their armbands on. They are having lots of fun swimming and splashing in the water. Oops, Richard has dropped his toy watering can into the pool. Mommy, what? Cries Richard. Sorry, Richard, I can't reach. It's too far down, says Mummy Rabbit. Luckily, Daddy Pig is an excellent swimmer. He takes off his glasses and dives down to get it. Ho, ho, there you go, snorts Daddy. Squeak, squeak, says Richard. Well done, Daddy Pig, smiles Mummy Pig. Oh dear, now Richard is soaking Daddy Pig with the watering can. What a naughty rabbit! He. George thinks it's hilarious. Everyone has had a wonderful day at the pool. Flashing fire engines. Big, bold fire engines waiting day and night, ready for rescue or a blaming fire to fight. Ding, ding, drink, drink. As soon as there's a fire alarm, the engine starts to roar. The firefighters jump aboard, it rumbles out the door. Wee-oo, wee-oo. Watch the engine speeding on its daring dash. Hear its siren scream, see its bright light flash. In helmets, fireproof coats and trousers, boots so big and strong. The crew are dressed and ready as the engine zooms along. When the engine finds the fire, it quickly pulls up near. The crew jump out, unroll the hose and get out all the gear. The hose has got a nozzle that shoots a jet of spray. It squirts right at the bottom. Right at the blazing flames and sizzles them away. The water tank is empty soon, so where can more be found? The engine's pump can pull it up from pipes below the ground. Whoosh! The fire is hot and roaring. It makes a lot of smoke. The firefighters put on masks, otherwise they had choke. The ladder rises upward. It reaches for the sky. A fire engine's ladder stretches up so very high. Sometimes there is a platform right up at the top. It waits beside the window. Then into it you hope. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. At last, the fire's extinguished. The flames are all popped out. Plop, plop. Lower the ladder, roll the hose. Hooray! The fire's crew shout. Back inside the station, the crew can take a break. But the fire engine's ready and it's waiting wide awake. Sam's Christmas present. Sam was a very curious boy, and what he was curious about was his Christmas present. "Mommy, where is my Christmas present?" asked Sam. She smiled and said, "It is hidden in a secret place." Sam stuck his tongue out and went in search of his father. "Daddy, where is my Christmas present?" asked Sam. "It is hidden in a secret place, Sam," his father replied, smiling. "I know what to do," Sam said. "I will go gift hunting." He looked behind his father's desk and he found a gift box wrapped in red paper. But this is for Aunt Juju," said Sam, reading the tag. So he slipped into his parents' room and he found a gift box wrapped in the gold paper for Uncle Alfie. Sam read aloud from the tag. Then he opened his mother's cupboard and he found a gift box wrapped in a purple paper for our daughter Sophie was written on the tag. Sam to went back to his room and sat on the floor feeling very sad. He had badly wanted to find his present. And then he saw a gift box wrapped in a silver paper under his bed. "This is for me!" he shouted, reading the tag. Sam shook the box. He turned it around in his hands. What was inside? What it could be. Did he open it or leave it in the secret place? And are you curious to know what curious Sam did with his gift? He put it back under the bed and decided to wait for Christmas. Thomas's crazy day. Percy had popped a piston. He had to wait at the steamworks to be fixed. "I can't be really useful," he said sadly to Thomas, "and I can't have fun." Thomas promised Percy he would puff back to play with him soon. But at first, Thomas had to steam to Knapford Station. The Fat Controller had an important job for him. "I want to take Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand to the docks," said the Fat Controller. "Show them how to load freight and be really useful." Thomas was excited about leading Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand to the docks. But then he remembered his promise to Percy. "Oh no," he puffed. "How can I play with Percy and show the other Indians how to be really useful?" At the docks, Thomas had a brilliant idea. He told Cranky the Crane to show the other engines how to load freight. Cranky was not pleased. He did not like being told what to do. But it was too late. Thomas had Puff to play with Percy. Percy's piston was fixed and he was excited to see Thomas. "Let's play hide and seek," said Thomas. That made Percy smile even more. He loved playing hide and seek with Thomas, but when Percy puffed off to hide, Thomas raced back to the docks. When he got there, Cranky was cross. "It's not my job to teach the gents," he creaked. Now Thomas was cross too. "You know all about loading freight," he said. "Please help Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand, and I will be back soon." Thomas whooshed back to find Percy, but he was so busy worrying about the freight that he didn't see Percy hiding. Thomas gave up looking for Percy and raced back to the docks. Percy was all alone and sad in his hiding place. Thomas thundered into the docks, and there, what did he see? Cranky had lifted up Ferdinand and was loading him onto a ship. Cranky thought it was funny. "Unload Ferdinand now, please," Thomas puffed crossly, and then he whooshed full speed back to find Percy. "Percy, Where are you? Called Thomas. Percy puffed sadly out of his hiding place. You didn't play properly, he said. That was no fun at all. Thomas had upset Percy, and he hadn't looked the freight with the engines either. He felt terrible. But then he had an idea. Thomas and Percy puffed to the docks where Ferdinand was back on the tracks. Then they both showed the other engines how to load their flatbeds with freight. And with a bash and a dash and a giggle, they all worked together. That was fun, Thomas, laughed Percy, and everyone agreed, even Cranky. Thomas beamed from buffer to buffer. Being really useful is the most fun of all, he peeped. Peppa's garden. Peppa likes playing in the garden. She rides her bicycle with her friends. Whee! She has picnics with George. Teddy says I can have his cookies. She helps Grandpa Pig grow fruit and vegetables. Yummy, yummy, strawberries. She plays Piggy in the middle. Throw it to me, Mummy. Being in the garden is so much fun. Peppa at playgroup. Peppa Pig is busy at playgroup. Good morning, Peppa. Her teacher is called Madam Gazelle. Peppa sees all her friends at playgroup. Susie, Danny, Candy, Rebecca, Petro. Peppa likes painting pictures. Do you like my very pretty flower? Peppa's favorite lesson is ballet. I am a graceful ballerina. Peppa loves going to play group. The ambulance. Dr. Brownbear is visiting Peppa's play group to show the children an ambulance. Hello, Dr. Brownbear, say the children. Hello, children, says Dr. Brownbear. Does anyone know what this is called? Asked Dr. Brownbear. It's ambulance, says Molly Mole. And who can tell me what it's for? Asked Dr. Brownbear. Taking sick people to the hospital, says Peppa. Can we hear the Nina Nina sound, please? Asked Freddy Fox. Yes, says Dr. Brownbear. But we normally use that only in a real emergency. Nina. Dr. Brownbear, can you show us what you would do in a real emergency? Asked Madam Gazelle. Yes, says Dr. Brown. I'll show you using this teddy. Dr. Brown checks that the teddy is awake, asks the teddy's name, and asks him what happened. Then he bandages him up his arm. And because you have been such a brave bear, you get a sticker, says Dr. Brownbear, giving the teddy a yellow smile face sticker. Wonderful, says the children. Say thank you, Dr. Brownbear. Thank you, Dr. Brownbear, say the children. You're welcome, says Dr. Brownbear. And remember, always look where you're going. Whoops! Oh dear! Dr. Brownbear has tripped over a ball. Dr. Brownbear is rolling down the hill, cries Peppa. He is rolled down through a prickly bush, says Molly, and he hits a tree. Apples have fallen on his head, adds Louisa. Oh, groans Dr. Brownbear. Oh my goodness. gasps Madame Gazelle. Call an ambulance. The ambulance is over here, says Madame. Quick, everyone into the ambulance, says Gazelle. Hooray! Shout children as they run into the ambulance. The ambulance gets to the bottom of the hill. Don't the brown bear, says Madame Gazelle. We are here to make you better. Thank you, but I don't need any help, says Dr. Brown. Children check he is awake, ask him his name and ask him what happened. I tripped over the and fall down the hill, says Dr. Brown Bear. That was a bit silly now, wasn't it? Says Shuichi. Which bit is hurting? Asks Petro Pony. My arm, my leg, and here on my head, replies Dr. Brown Bear. Susie and Wendy Wolf bandage up Dr. Brown Bear. Because you have been such a brave doctor, you get a sticker, says Manu Gazelle. Hee hee. The children giggle. Have a sticker, have a sticker. They all cover it in with the smiley face stickers. Oh, cries Dr. Bear. Ha ha. Children say thank you to Dr. Brown Bear for giving us such a wonderful demonstration of how the ambulance works, says Manu Gazelle. Thank you, Dr. Brown Bear. Cheer the children. It was my pleasure, groans Dr. Brown Bear. Dr. Brown Bear loves ambulance. Everyone loves ambulances. Go, train, go. Here comes the judge in her big red hat. She has come to see the train show. Thomas will take the judge to the show. Hurry, Thomas, take me to the show. Take me there fast. Go, train, go. Clickety clack, clittery crack over a bridge. He was going so fast. The judge lost her hat. Screech go the brakes. Thomas goes slow. Slow he goes. Hurry, Thomas, we are running late. Take me to the train show. Go, train, go. But Thomas must go slow. There's a cow on the track. Moo, moo, goes the cow. Peep, peep, goes Thomas. The cow moves back. Clittery clack, clittery clack. Thomas the Tank Engine moves faster than fast. Screech go the brakes. Thomas goes slow. Slow he goes. Don't stop, Thomas. Go, train, go. Don't stop now. I'm late for the show. But must Thomas go slow? There are locks on the track. The crane engine clears the locks. Clittery clack, clittery crack. Around the locks goes Thomas faster than fast. There's mud up ahead, but Thomas cannot go slow. Thomas goes faster than fast into the mud. Splish, splash. Thomas goes fast, down, fast, past a dog, faster, still fast at last. Nothing can stop him, not at all. No cow, no log, no mud, no dog. This is the fastest that Thomas can go. Screech go the brakes. Good job, Thomas. We made it here at last. You're a little engine, but you go so fast. Here comes the judge. The train show begins. I like all the trains. You all are so fun. But the little blue muddy train is my favorite one. The king, the cook, and the wizard. In Princess Peppa's castle, there was a lovely cook. She made the most delicious food ever. They also had a wonderful wizard who performed magic shows. Princess Peppa's daddy was the king of the castle. The king was always very hungry. So Princess Peppa and Sir George the Brave had lots of yummy picnics every day. George का ड्रैगन एक दिन राजकुमारी पेप्पा और सर जॉर्ज बहादुर कैसल गार्डन में खेल रहे थे। कर अचानक एक बड़ा हरा ड्रैगन दिखा। पेप्पा थोड़ा सा डरी थी, पर जॉर्ज ने क्रॉल किया पीछे से और ड्रैगन ने स्माइल किया। कर ही सर जॉर्ज बहादुर और बड़ा ड्रैगन दोनों बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स बन गए। George's Dragon. One day, Princess Peppa and Sir George the Brave were playing in the castle gardens. Grrr! Suddenly, a big green dragon appeared. Peppa was a little bit scared, but George crawled back and the dragon smiled. Grrr! Hee hee! Sir George the Brave and the big green rat became very best friends.